Hey Jules, this is your girl Jennifer Lynn, the Crown Jewel, and I am back with another YouTube video. So today we are going to be talking about Angie Stone and Deangelo. Angie Stone and Deangelo. And so this is the year 2025. Now, some months ago, as we know, Angie Stone passed away. And fast forward, we are now in October, and Deangelo has just now passed away. And so here it is, 2025, and they are both gone. They are both dead. They're both deceased. And so the question that I have, and I want to know what you guys think about this. Was this a sacrifice and did they miss out on what God had for them? Was this a sacrifice in terms of their death? And did they miss out on what God had for them as a couple? If we go back to the 90s, early 2000s, Angie Stone and Deangelo, they were a big deal. They were a big deal musically. They both had some hits out. The women, they would go crazy over Deangelo. And, Angie, she was a very soulful singer. Both of them were very soulful singers, very talented. Okay, and so from what I understand, they had a relationship. Now, Angie Stone, she was older than Deangelo. Okay, and so for those neo soul and just soulful people that really love that soulful type of music, they were happy when these two people came together. Okay, but I don't think that the music industry was happy with them being together. Now, as we know, Angie Stone, she was older than Deangelo. I don't know how many years older. If I had to guess, she may have had somewhere between 7, 10 years older than him. I really don't know, but I do know that she was older than him, and there were people in the music industry that had a problem with their relationship. So their relationship ended up going south, and I believe it was because of the influence that was in D'Angelo's ear. Okay. And so they ended up breaking up. But when they were together, I remember um them being very much in love. And even in interviews when Angie was alive, she would talk about this, how they were very much in love. She thought that, they were going to spend their life together. They even ended up having a son together. Okay. And so they end up breaking up. D'Angelo ends up going down a different path where, you know, um, I believe he got involved in drugs. I believe he also did some time in jail. Okay. And so he just battled with all these challenges. And, something that I want to focus on is when people enter into the music industry, there is a very demonic side to this music industry. And it has a lot to do with the works of Satan. Okay. And so if you just take a look at people who have performed and they have been in the music industry, they have had a level of success, they have had these challenges that they have had to endure, because it's almost like these people are signing a contract with Satan. They're thinking that they're going to be living on top of the world, they're going to be making all this money, so on and so forth, they're going to have all this fame, but they don't realize, a lot of them, some of them know, but some of them, they don't understand that they are coming into agreement with Satan and his works and his plans, which goes against everything that God stands for. So, like I said, D'Angelo ends up having these struggles. Him and Angie Stone, they never got back together. They go on about their life. I don't think I ever heard of D'Angelo even being in another public relationship after Angie. You do hear about some relationships, maybe one or two relationships that Angie had been in, and the men just did not treat her right. It was one man that she was engaged to which now we know this was a counterfeit man she was engaged to, and it was put out there for the public to see on a reality show where this man, he just had no respect for her and he embarrassed her. Okay, again, works of Satan. And so as we fast forward, we hear how Angie comes out with all this information. I want to say, I don't know if it was last year or this year, shortly before she passed, where she was putting the music industry on blast because of things that they had supposedly done to her, okay, where they had cheated her out of money and just different things in terms of the work that she had put into the music industry. She begins to put a lot of things out on the forefront for the public to hear and see. And within a matter of weeks, months, she ends up dead. Okay. And so I have heard talks about if her life was sacrificed because she exposed the music industry. Again, there is an evil hand working, several evil hands, but it all boils down to the enemy. There is an evil hand that is working behind the music industry. Okay. And so, like I said, the question becomes if her life was really sacrificed or not. If it was really some type of sacrificial ritual that was done when it comes to her death. Okay, now we look at Deangelo. I don't know the backstory to his death outside of his there was a report that his family said he lost his battle to cancer, but the main thing I really want to focus on with these two people, these incredibly talented people, these people are both now dead. I really feel like these people, they totally missed it. They totally missed it. And so they missed it when it came to them coming together as a couple. I really believe that they were God ordained because we know that the music industry is works of the enemy. The enemy had a lot to do with them not making it. Angie talked about how she thought that they were going to spend their life together, they were going to get married. That never happened because Deangelo went down a wrong path and he had other deceptive voices in his ear. And this is just really a sad situation. This is truly a sad situation. But my thing is, when they were together, they had such a powerful love. Okay. It was clear that these people were in love and they could have influenced many people behind their love if this was in fact God ordained. And I feel like that is something that Angie wanted. But again, D'Angelo, he went down a different path. So it's unfortunate, that this has happened to these two people. But the question that I want to know from you guys is, do you think that their deaths was based around some type of sacrifice, mainly Angie? Um, and also, do you think that this was a God ordained couple and they missed out on the will of God? They missed out on the will of God according to the love that they had for each other. So, what are your thoughts, guys? I just want to know. This is a very sad situation. Again, two very talented people. And, when we see some of these celebrities that come together, and even though they may not be, living this Christian lifestyle, I do believe that there are certain people that God will put in the music industry to be of influence to those that they are called to reach, if that makes sense. So again, what are you guys' thoughts? Do you believe that the deaths were a sacrifice? Do you believe that they were a God ordained couple that were meant to be together, that were meant to inspire people through their love? So that is it. That is all. This is your girl, Jennifer Land, the crown jewel, and I will talk with you guys next time.